My mom took my little brother and me to a lot of musters when we were kids. I hadn't been to a muster in at least 25 years, though, when I went to reacquaint myself with the fun of it all in Marblehead on September 1st, 2007. I had just finished producing my first documentary for Salem Access Television and was looking for my next project. That first effort of mine was about Captain John Bertram, a 19th century merchant and philanthropist whose mansion is now the Salem Public Library. I didn't go to the Marblehead muster looking for documentary material, but I did bring along my camera, thank goodness. As soon as the action started, I realized that this would make a great story. After I uploaded my photos and a couple of short video clips to YouTube, I emailed the Okos and asked if there would be any more musters. Rick Bartlett got right back to me and invited me to go with them to Gorham, New Hampshire the very next weekend. On the drive up there, Rick, Harold Hansen, and Earl Dolliver gave me a crash course on what I'd be seeing. In Gorham, I shot the best footage I had yet taken, and I also became hooked to this thing called a hand tub muster. I joined the Okos and continued my education in the sport, the machines, and this great old organization's place in the history of Marblehead. I was elected an alternate delegate to the New England States Veteran Firemen's League and began attending meetings, one at the Gary and another in Mystic, Connecticut at the B.F. Hoxie Engine Company, home of the T.W. Lane. One of the many cool things about getting involved in this tradition is all of the great people with whom one gets to hang around. Among those are a couple of guys I've known for a long time in other contexts. In late October of 1988, my dad had the last in a series of episodes related to his emphysema, and we had to call the ambulance to come and get him from our house on Orange Street and take him to Salem Hospital. Jimmy Hazel was there in a police cruiser and helped carry Dad from the house. They put him in a stretcher chair, and when Jimmy was backing out the front door, a blast of cold air hit my dad, who was in his nightshirt. "Jesus, Jimmy, it's cold out," he said. "Well, if it's cold out, Vance, put it back in," Jimmy replied immediately. My dad was chuckling at that as they loaded him into the ambulance, and this was the last time I saw him alive. My father sure did laugh a lot in life, and I'm forever grateful to Officer Hazel for providing that last laugh for me to hang on to for the rest of my own life. Standing next to or across from James Hazel as we pump the Oko always reminds me that my dad is up there watching me, hopefully still laughing.
Take it! Go! Shit! Go! 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 Pick it up! Pick it up! Go!
Dirk Martin, the foreman of the Gary 5, is an old friend of mine too. I've sailed up and down the New England coast with Dirk, thanks to our mutual friend Chris Hood. We were both ushers at Chris's wedding. I didn't realize it at the time, but while I was in Gorham, I got photos of Dirk's father Wayne attending his last muster.
That is it for the Okos of Marblehead.
I also got a little bit of video of Wayne keeping things running smoothly during the league meeting at the Gary. As Rick Bartlett and I tidied up Oko's Hall in preparation for being open for the Christmas walk, we came across a reel of film marked 1962 Marblehead Muster. I took it home and looked at a few minutes of it on an old projector. It looked great, so we had it converted to DVD. The Christmas walk was the first time I paraded with the Oko. It was also the first time I got to meet Tucker Reese, the youngest member of the crew at 17. Tucker's enthusiasm is a great boost to everyone. There is another unofficial tradition on the day of the Christmas walk, wherein the boys on the Oko have a mock battle with Glover's regiment. Here's my friend Chris Hood returning fire. Thanks to YouTube, I saw some film of a 1947 muster in Essex, Massachusetts that had been uploaded by David Murray, who lives in Florida but grew up in Marblehead. He was happy to send me a copy of the film his great-uncle Conrad Bowen shot. We think Mr. Bowen was probably the one who shot the 1962 film as well. After a long winter of anticipation, spring was finally in the air. We took the hand tubs to Red's Pond to see if they were ready for the muster season. My mom, brother Carl, and nephews Harry and Charlie were there that day too. This was also the first time I actually pumped the Oko.
Yeah. We got too many guys.
On the 4th of July, we joined the Horribles Parade.